Good morning, guys and girls. It's Tuesday the 20th of October 2020 and the rains have begun. But we got a message yesterday talking about how for the next 48 hours there's going to be a lot of storms. So if you look at AccuWeather, we're 16 degrees right now. Today goes up to a maximum of 18, and then we've got a red warning for rain and orange warning for wind. We've got a south-southeast wind of 29 kilometers an hour with a maximum gust of about 50 kilometers an hour. So the storm that's going to hit us is called Storm Barbara. Hey Mom, that's my mom's name. Starting at 1 p.m, ending at 10 o'clock. It says here that the winds are going to gust up to 100 kilometers an hour, and in the highlands they're going to get up to 130 kilometers an hour. And then we have a red warning for rain. They say rain sometimes heavy and persistent, occasionally accompanied by thunderstorms. Possibility of occurrence of extreme wind phenomena. So we're just on our way to Elkanes. We're going to go and get some food. Today's, as you can tell, not a very nice day. So what we want to do is get some comfort food, some nice warming comfort food. Oh my goodness, that's exceptionally rainy out there. Sheesh, I forgot about all of this.
On the end of our road that's been chained up to a tree for like the last 2 weeks, and it's guarding sheep when the sheep are in the field, but it's got no shelter. There's a bucket of water there for it and it's got no shelter, so it's just sat in this weather, and I just feel, I don't know what to do. I don't think we could get close enough. We've got a spare doghouse that we could put next to the tree for it, but I don't think we'd be able to get close enough to put the doghouse close enough for the dog to get in. I don't know.
They did say that 1 o'clock was when the storm starts. So on our road here we've got a really horrible situation. There's a little dog that's been tied up to a tree here, and I mean you can see this weather and this rain. I mean the whole field is flooding, and just look at him just stuck there all on his own. I don't know if you can see here, it's really tragic. We bought him some food, a nice half a kilo sausage. Oh shame, look at this dog. There we go, just eating it.
Well, I feel better that it's not on a chain.
Well, it was on a chain, it just broke the chain. So that was quite tragic really with that poor dog. We don't really know what to do because we've got like a spare dog kennel, but we can't go in there because this is a guard dog, you know. It's meant for protecting the land, you know. So we would be trespassing first of all. And secondly, you know, how are we supposed to bring the dog kennel there without this dog attacking us? So I'm not really sure what to do. Fortunately, it's not cold today. It's like 17, 18 degrees. It's just really wet. So you know, a shame. I mean, the poor dog's going to be really uncomfortable and really wet, but at least we've given it some food now, so, you know, hopefully it's going to be feeling a lot better. We've got a river running down our road. We said in our previous video that the one thing we really missed on our farm was having a river, and now we have a river going down our road. Amazing. So we're just going for a walk. We're going to go and survey the flooding. You'll probably notice the microphone quality is not so great. Unfortunately, I can't plug a good mic in right now because obviously because of all the water. I need to keep this camera waterproof. But yeah, you can see that there's a lot of water going on. So in this bottom field you can see it's kind of the lowest point of the land, and you can see all of the flooding starts at this back corner here, and then the field kind of makes its way up and then back up towards where the house is. There's quite a few meters difference. I would say there's probably about 10 meters difference, so you'd need to have a lot of water to actually start endangering our house. But you can see just with this rain, just from last night till now, there's quite a lot of water laying just over there in that field, and the beginning of a bit of flooding here. We do have our bees over there, and I'd say that they're a good couple of meters higher than where the low part of the land is. Last year we did have some flooding, but it never actually got to that corner. It flooded quite deep though. It was almost it was sort of halfway between your shin and your knee across here. So we are going to have to keep an eye on it just in case. And old dog's doing what golden retrievers do, and he's just standing in a big old puddle of mud. Yeah, it's getting quite deep in parts. You can see there's quite a large amount of water just moving its way to all the lowest points in the land. So the farmhouse is up here, and all of these fields are draining down in this direction, and they're draining past, all coming from there and from there, and it's draining past through here. You can see there's quite a large amount of motion happening, coming through and going into the bottom of the fields here, and then at the bottom of the field it all kind of pulls up and collects. Now, worryingly, we do have a little bit of water pooling up here around the hives, but that's just because the area is a little bit low there. But we never had any flooding as such last year in the winter, and we did have some quite serious flooding all the way in the bottom here, so I think it should be okay, but we're going to keep our eyes on it. Amazing how much water can fall in the space of a day, not even a full day. And you can go from a very dry, arid land to something that's now got bits of greenery popping up. Amazing how quick it is.
I emptied it this morning about that mud, and it's already filled back up.
Wow. Let's see what the chickens are up to. Yeah, they're all just parking off in here. It's not a good day to be a chicken. Hello guys, what's happening? You're all just parking off. You got enough water? Got enough food? You got a selection of treats? Good stuff guys. Have fun. So I've had enough of being wet. I think I'm going to get some wood and make us a fire indoors. Make it all nice and cozy.
He's alive, look. I don't think he's very happy.
No. So Gina found this guy inside a puddle in our field. I think he's probably crawled out of our dam. Amazing. See if I can get some better angles on him. It's like some type of a crayfish.
What about if I put him in the pond next to the house?
I
Or
don't know
better
if
in
he's
the
got,
dam?
I don't know if he's got much to eat in there.
Okay, I'm going to put him in the dam then.
Yeah. Cool. That's amazing. So this here is a commercial fly trap that I put up yesterday, almost 24 hours ago. And it comes with a special fly attractant liquid. And it's got these little holes in the side. So you just pierce a bottle and you stick it in there. We have caught 2 flies in 24 hours using one of these. We've also tried other things. So we've tried putting like fish in there. We tried putting dog food in there. We've tried putting, things like tuna or, I can't even remember. Oh, jam. We've tried all sorts of stuff. And it just does not seem to work. I know everyone seems to give us these suggestions about, oh, you just got to like hang up a bag next to your front door, a clear bag with water in. Well, we've tried that as well. We've also tried putting herbs by the front door. We've tried all sorts of stuff. I think what people don't realize is just how many flies there actually are. And that's to do with the fact that we've had some sheep on the land, and also to do with the fact that we've got a giant pile of manure that got delivered and is sitting quite close to the house. So on one of our water tanks next to the house, we have a whole bunch of grapevines going over the top, and we couldn't reach these grapes. So what's been happening is we've got a lot of wasps that are going after these grapes. And as you can see, the wasp is basically getting the sugars and stuff out of the grapes. So there's a whole bunch of them. I mean, you can almost look at every single grape here and there'll be some wasp going after them. So these grapes have been sitting up here for a while, probably fermenting. And I'm guessing what's happening are these wasps are getting drunk and falling into the water. We've got a whole bunch of them. There's one over there. There's 2 over there. There's one just down here. Look, there's another 2 over there. Crazy. So I think what's probably happening is they're drinking these liquids, these fermented grape juice liquids, getting drunk and then just falling into the water. One of the best things about all of this rain that we've just had is how green everything's going already. You can see all these fields were all brown and just dusty. A couple of days of rain, we're all nice and green again. Growing on this tree trunk over here is some lichen. And you can see there's two different types growing here. They're kind of growing with each other. And lichen is very sensitive to air pollution. So when you see lichen growing somewhere, it means that the air quality is very pure. And when you see different types all growing together, it means the air is even cleaner. This is a very good sign. So this is our persimmon tree. It's absolutely covered in persimmons. Unfortunately, we've had two large sections of the tree fall off. This one fell off about 2 weeks ago, and this one fell off yesterday. You can see where it's just sheared right off. Unfortunately, there was so much fruit, the branches were so heavy that they just broke. Obviously, we had some winds and a bit of a storm, but yeah, really bad. And now it's just absolutely covered in flies. This tree is going to need a lot of work in pruning to try and get it back into shape and strengthen it. And then the olives will need to be done very soon. There's loads of them all over these trees. We've got a lot of trees, we've got about 80 to 100. And then, yeah, and they're just packed. I mean, look at this. In the very center of the screen there's a grasshopper. I'm not sure if you can see it. There we go, his leg just moved. Really well camouflaged. Incredible. Hey guys and girls, it's Thursday the 22nd of October 2020, 3:54, and Gina and I are just on our way down to the beehives. We are checking every 4 days at the moment, and what we're doing is we're filling up the little water dish on the top with some sugar water, and what this does is it just helps give the bees some energy, because our hives are quite small. We got them in the summer when it was really hot and there wasn't very much food or pollen around, and so the hives haven't grown very much, and so now we're having to support them a little bit, trying to give them some energy so that they grow a little bit bigger before the winter starts. And then in the winter time we're going to support them by giving them some food. Okay, so we are complete novices when it comes to bees, and these are the first hives that we've ever had. But we're going to do like a basic check, because we've had a problem with varroa mites, which are like little red mites that attach themselves to the bees. And we've also had some wax moths that have come into our hives. So what we're doing now is we're just making sure that none of those are in there. In the lid, we also have a problem with the wasps getting in there. But that seems alright for now. We just have a lot of spiders. Look at these spiders. Now what we've been doing is we've been giving them sugar water. And that basically gives them energy so that they can build the hive stronger. So what I'm going to be doing is just filling up this dish. I'm also checking everything to make sure that there's no wax moth larvae or anything like that. I believe spiders are alright. There's an ant over there. I think the ant's only over there because we've got sugar water, and we're basically putting sugar water inside these dishes. So the way that these dishes work, you just take off the top and pour the water in. This is 1 kilogram of white sugar mixed in with 2 liters of water. And every 4 days we come down and we just top it up. In fact, this hive probably needs it more than 4 days, because look, it's already completely empty. So I'm just going to lift up the lid. See, there's a whole bunch of them on the roof. They've been trying to glue the lid down with propolis. Right, so let me put this over here. So we started off with 5 frames, and we still have 5 frames, but we did have to give 2 of the frames over to this hive, so this hive is a lot stronger. I'm going to start on this side over here. We're going to remove a frame. This is going to be empty, but what we want to do is we want to check this frame to make sure there's no wax moth larvae eating through it. And nothing that we need to worry about. Usually they like to hide down in these gaps on the side here. This is where you first kind of see them. But so far so good. Now I take that frame out and I move all these other frames across, and then we just check each frame as we go. So there's no damage on this one. It's completely empty, and everything looks good. The third empty frame, there's a couple of bees on it. There's a little spider. Spiders are fine, I've heard. Don't see any wax moths. No wax moths down the side here, none in the bottom. Right, this frame is quite heavy. It's okay, this side is a bit empty, but on the other side I just looked at, there's a whole bunch of honey. Now what I want to do here is just look at the bees and make sure that all of their wings look in good condition and the bees don't look all, damaged and messed up. I'm also looking to see if I can find any varroa mites, which are like little red, almost like a little red tick that you'll see stuck to them. But those bees look fine. On this side, look at that. We've got a whole bunch of honey, and a lot of it is capped, and that's their food storage for the winter. Again, I'm looking at these bees. All of them look good. I'm not seeing any varroa mites or any wing damage. Now I look down here. I see there's a spider in there, but I've been told that spiders are good for hives because they help keep out unwanted insects. So he can stay. Alright, so very similar to the other one. All of these bees look alright. Looks good. On this side we have a little bit of honey going on. Nice and capped, so they've got food storage. All of these bees are looking healthy. I'm not seeing any problems. I'm trying to move through this quite quickly because it's quite a cool day today and there's a breeze blowing, and what I don't want to do is lose all of the temperature in the hive. This frame is full of bees. Wow. Okay, so full of bees. Not much honey. The bees are looking all right.
Wow.
But this is
queens in there somewhere.
probably, yeah. So now you can see in here there's a few cells which are capped, and these cells have got the brood, which are basically the baby larvae. I don't know.
This looks bigger.
Yeah. There's a few of them that look like that.
Oh.
I can't see the queen now, but what I don't want to do is leave them in the cold for too long. But they're looking healthy. This is a very heavy frame. Okay, so this frame here is full of bees. Look at that. There's a lot of capped honey and there's a lot of brood in the center there. I'm not seeing any deformed wings. I'm not seeing any red mites. So it's looking good. On the other side, exactly the same. Look at all those bees. Let's try and see if we can get that in the light. And there's a whole bunch of capped honey on there, a whole bunch of brood. So this hive's getting bigger, it's getting stronger. It's looking pretty good. Now they've stuck these frames down with a bit of propolis. It's quite difficult to lift out sometimes. Wow, again, another really full frame. A lot of capped honey. I believe they call that a honey bridge. And in the middle there's a whole bunch of brood. The bees are looking healthy. I'm not seeing any wax mite problems or anything like that. Wax moth problems or varroa mites. Looking very, very healthy. Do you know what I have found here is I found there's a wax moth. This is a wax moth larvae that's hatched here. And there you go. I've basically squashed it. It's a disgusting thing, and now this thing's going to try, well, if it was still alive,
There's one there as well, I think.
it would try and eat the hive. It would go through all of the wax comb. And this is, yeah, another one. Look at that. So we've got two of them. Wow. Amazing how many problems with this we're having at the moment. So that's the wax moth larvae, all squashed. So that's a good save, because otherwise that guy would have ended up, on one of these frames here, just eating its way through the wax and basically killing the hive. Now these frames should be relatively empty, but they are building it out a bit. The bees are all looking good, not seeing any problems. And here's the last frame. And I don't see any problems with wax moths or anything like that. We've got two bees making out over there. And yeah, it's looking good. So let me just put this last frame back in again. All's looking quite well on that hive, to be honest. I'm quite happy with that. There's obviously going to be people in the comments telling me, oh, you know, by now the whole thing should be full, it's going into winter. But, you know, we got these quite late in the season. I've had to take 2 frames out, so we would have had 7 frames. I had to take 2 frames out and put it inside this hive, which is a bit of a weaker hive. So, you know, I feel like it's doing pretty well. We are going to be supporting them with food throughout the winter. And at the moment, we're opening up the hive every 4 days and putting sugar water in.